In this video, we're going to watch and talk about how to do a professional loan signing so you can boost your confidence and income today. Before we watch this live closing together, I just wanted to touch base on a few things. You're going to see me make $125 in less than 14 minutes with an actual customer. I want you to focus on how simple it can actually be and how loan signings can change your life just like it's changed mine. All right, since you're watching this video, go ahead and click the thumbs up and like this video, and also hit the subscribe button with the bell icon so you stay up to date with our latest high quality videos just like this one. Guys, my name is Jon Snedeker. I was named one of the best notary signing agents in America, and I'm in the news regularly. This is a national spotlight that I did for the Penny Boarder a little while back. And just to briefly touch base on my credentials, so that way you know you're getting high quality information today. Yes, I was named one of the best notary signing agents in America by one of my national clients. I've completed 10,000 loan signings across multiple states. I am a national mentor to notary signing agents across the country, and I'm also the director for Notary Signing Agent Blueprint. We have certification training courses and also six-figure mentorship. So why does that actually matter? Well, let's get into it. Here's why you need to learn from an expert. Results, results, results. Here's Oscar cashed a $600 loan signing check, and you can read what he had to say about me and how I help signing agents across the country. Kate, who's on pace to literally track to $95,000 thanks to our blueprint. How about Andy? Andy's making $500 to $800 per day. She's another six-figure signing agent on our team. And Andy's cashing obviously $400 loan signing checks. And here's some more results. Tommy with a $400 loan signing check in an attorney state, guys. We are the real deal here, and so we want to help you and pay it forward. But results is the exact reason why you need to learn from an expert. So go ahead and comment below. What is your daily income goal with loan signings? Are you part-time looking to make $200 or $300 a week? Or are you looking to be full-time and make $1,000 a week, maybe $2,000 a week? Go ahead and comment below. I'd love to know. All right, the moment that you have been waiting for. Right now, we are going to go over a closing and watch a closing that I did. Now, it's about 13 minutes long, and as we watch, I'll be discussing with you some tips, tricks, and best practices from an expert so you can understand how it really works, all right? I want to give you some gold, so bust out the notepad, the pens, and the paper, and let's go ahead and get into it. Go ahead and pay attention and take some notes. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you the #1 tip on how to do quicker closings. It's actually something you do before you even get to the closings. Now, quicker closings can help you, could be the reason how you do 4 to 10 closings a day when people can struggle with doing 2 to 3 closings a day in their schedule, okay? So you need to know this tip. It's simple math, and it changes your income from, say, a max of $200 or $250 a day, and it opens up a whole new world to $400 plus, sometimes even $1,000 days. I've had them, people on our team are having it. It's a common thing when you know what you're doing, okay? Do you want to know what that tip is? Stay until the end of this video and I will tell you. Let's go ahead and start the closing. Now, I am going to be talking over it. Obviously, due to confidentiality, I can't, you can't hear everything about the customer and the numbers and the address and location. So right now the customer is getting their driver's license, and I'm just going to kind of talk it through here. So you can see, obviously, I'm dressed well. It's a collared shirt. Don't wear jeans to closing. You're talking about, comfortable business clothes, but you don't need a suit, but you really don't wear jeans either. So really wear a collared shirt, some khaki, something like that. If you're a male, if you're a female, just dress nice. And so you're going to see me writing down their driver's license information. Some states actually require you have a notary journal. And some states could care less, okay? I live in a state that could care less, so I actually do document their ID. Now here I am introducing myself to the customer. It's just a polite, professional way. I'm just gonna pause it here quickly. It's a polite, professional way to set the tone for the closing. Here's another tip on having a quicker closing. Are you ready? You are the authority in the room, and that means that at all times you are professional. And when you introduce yourself and you explain what you can and cannot do, that person is going to understand it, respect it, and it'll really just provide a much smoother closing. So here on the back side, I'm actually talking about how I'm not an attorney and how by law, I can only do so much for them, right? I can go over a general description of the document, but by law, I cannot explain things to them. If your closings are taking over 35, 40 minutes, you're talking too much and you're probably over explaining, okay? So it's very, very important that you do not break the law. You do not try to be an attorney to explain or interpret the content of the documents. That is a big no-no if you are not an attorney. And most of us signing agents are not attorneys, okay? So my explanation is sort of just briefly touch a base on that. You'll see me look at her ID and physically inspect the ID. I'll flick it with my finger and I'll look at it and also look at the customer as a Notary Public, so you're there to obviously verify their ID and make sure things are good to go. And I also show them on the paper how to sign, okay? I actually have exactly so they can see how they're supposed to sign. And you're gonna want the customers to sign with the letters in their name, okay? You can't do a loop for a signature. That's a no-no. So I actually show them how they're supposed to sign. Now, right now, the first thing that I always do when I print the documents, I put the closing disclosure, the settlement statement, the CD, the HUD statement, whatever you want to call it, and I put it to the top of the documents, okay? So when you introduce yourself and when you verify their ID, the first thing that you go over is their numbers. You are not flipping to find that document, okay? It's right on the top of the stack, and you just jump right into it. You're explaining to them their numbers. This is not the first time they've seen the document. And when you learn the #1 tip to have faster closings at the end of this video, you'll realize why things can go much smoother here because you've done something earlier, okay? So here she's saying, no, I don't have any questions or anything like that. You can see her nodding her head, and everything looked good to go. Yup, she's nodding yes. All right, so just like that, we've gone over the CD. I am not rushing this customer. I am not talking too fast. We're literally just eliminating all the downtime and just breeze right through it, okay? How pretty good, right? So there's no downtime. We're gonna give her a pen so that way the ink color matches. Some states need blue, some need black. I used a Pilot G2s 0.07. I'll link to those in the description. It's really important that you have a comfortable pen. And here she is signing and dating that first document, and boom, second document is down. Did you see that? There's no pulling the document, looking at it, giving her the second one, scratching my head a little bit. No, it's very efficient. It's very professional. And the experience for the customer is pretty much the most important thing other than notary safety and following the laws of your state, okay? A great experience does not mean that the closings take a long time. And so you'll see as they sign the document, I'm stamping, notarizing, I'm actually stamping on the stack of documents so that way when an ink comes out, it's gonna be nice and flush and clean. That table may not be flat, so if you stamp that document on the table, you may have a stamp that's not full, and some of those documents could be rejected, okay? So it's very specific on how I do things. I am stamping over the actual document so I know there's gonna be enough padding there for the ink to come out perfectly, okay? Again, I'm filling that out as she fills out the document. When I'm done, I flip, find the next document, show it to her, go ahead and explain what needs to be explained, and then boom, 1 and 2. Do you see me point? 1 and 2 is going to be sign and date, okay? Now, as she's doing that, I'm flipping through the papers to find the next document to sign. We're going to pick hers up and boom, down, sign and date, okay? You see how quick that was? We're flipping through, we're checking what she signed and dated, putting it down, but we've already given her the next document to sign and date. As you can see, I'm explaining this one more. We're going to go ahead and tell her what needs to be talked about for the document, sign or sign and date, depending on what needs to be done. And I'm flipping through. I already found the next document. Okay, so as soon as I get it, boom, it's down. We're explaining what it is, and we're telling her to sign and date. I've checked the document she signed, and it's in the completed pile. Okay, so you have a complete pile, and you have an incomplete pile. Okay, so we'll move her document over. We're explaining what needs to be explained. All right, and then always sign or sign and date, depending on what needs to be done. And we're keeping everything in order. As she signs, I am notarizing. Okay, so when you notarize, you obviously are doing it to the notary block. We're going to sign, we're going to print, we're going to fill out what needs to be filled out. Okay, and then we're going to take the next document and boom. So the customer should never be waiting on you. So we take her signed one, we put the notarized one down, and then this is going to be the application where they sign on top, and then sign and date in the middle on that one. So you'll see, it's going to be hard to see, but I actually have a finger helper on my left index finger to help me flip through the documents quickly. I will also, I'm going to pause it here because it's going a little bit quick. Well, you can't see it now, but on my left index finger, there's a good look of it right there. You're going to see the finger helper. I'll link to those in the description. That is another very, very specific and very cheap tool. It's like $2 or $3 for an entire box of them. That is probably the number 2 best practice that I have when it comes to having quicker closings, okay? So it's a very cheap way to get in and out fast and help you flip through the documents quickly without, and I'm going to emphasize this, without rushing the signer, okay? This customer does not feel rushed. You can tell when they're rushed. They're flustered, they're looking at you, they're asking questions like please slow down, or they're telling you, or you can sense it. We're literally, the goal of every closing is really just to match the speed of the signer, okay? Match the speed of the signer. The pens that you use and the finger helper are a big difference to be able to flip through the documents quickly. The pens are smooth. I just want to touch base on this. The reason I use Pilot G2's .07s is because if you use the like .03s, they're too thin. When they scan the documents, sometimes they're too thin for it to show up when they do faxes and things after the signing. And if you use the .09 is I think the larger one or the largest one, it's too thick. A lot of the times it smudges, and you don't want that either. Okay, so .07 for the Pilot G2s are the only pen I will ever use. They're highly recommended. And so use whatever pens you want. Those are mine. I will never switch. I've been using them forever. And there's a reason why we talk about the thickness, because you don't want sloppy documents. You don't want it to smudge, and you don't want the signer to be, you can sign fine, but what about the signer? Are they going to sign the way that it needs to be with the thickness? And so there's a reason why we sort of touch base on that specifically. Now, let's just go ahead and play it here again. You'll see this customer finishing up signing and dating, and I'm continuing to flip quickly. And then boom, the next spot where they need to sign and date, and they're obviously getting their brief explanation or just touching base on an important point. You know, not everything needs to be signed and date, but a great signing agent is going to point out the important things and literally just spoon feed the customer the essence of what they need to know, okay? So that way when you leave, they're like, wow, this was knocked out quickly, but they don't feel rushed at all, because you literally just tell them what they need to know, so they're taken care of, all right? And if you start talking about stuff they don't care about, they're gonna be like, John, hurry up, I could care less. They'll tell you how they feel, okay? And so if you find yourself being rushed by signers, that kind of means that you need to speed it up. And if you find yourself being told to slow it down, that also means that you really just need to match the speed of the signer. It's a very simple professional tip to get great reviews, okay? But when you spoon feed them what they need to know, they really just care less, and they know they need to just sign away kind of thing, okay? So these are not the first time they've seen the numbers and the documents. They really should have gone over everything ahead of time. And so we'll just go ahead and continue playing. This one, again, a little more explanation, the general description of the document. The more you get into, the more you're crossing the line, okay? A good point is if you could point to it, to talk about it, is the general sense of it. If you're going in depth, it's too much, but if you cannot point to it on the document, as a general rule of thumb is you really just don't discuss it. You're not there, you don't work for their lender, you're just there to collect and notarize their signature, okay? They sign, I pull the document away, I put the next one down, okay? Tell them what they need to know, okay? And then, boom, signature page and date. The reason why there's two documents with the customer is because I am flipping, I am notarizing, again, stamping over a stack of documents so it's clean. As they do that, I am also eliminating downtime by filling out my section, sign, date, print, whatever needs to be done. I actually write pretty quickly and I use my pinky finger to scrape through. Here I am telling them to correct the number if it doesn't look good, if it's not clean, if you have a 7 but it looks like a 9 or something along those lines, we're going to tell them to clean it up. And when you do that during the signing, they know that they can't be sloppy for the rest of the signing, okay? Numbers, clean, date, legible. I'm telling her, look, we don't want it to kick it back. We don't want any issues. Yup, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, you know, yada, yada, yada. We're going to flip the notarized paper down, flip the one they just signed down, and then obviously just get them the signature page for what they need to continue with a very, very smooth closing. Obviously giving a general description of what they need to know, what the document is, what the name of it is. A good rule of thumb is just to really read the top paragraph, okay? If you're reading literally what it says, you're not explaining ramifications. You're not talking about what happens if they do or what happens if they don't. You're literally just telling them what the document is and collecting their signature, okay? Don't overcomplicate it. If you're in closings that last an hour, hour and a half, it means that you were inexperienced and you don't know what to say. Typically, you say too much. Typically, we see new signing agents say way too much, okay? So if you want to know why I can make $125 in 13 minutes and 39 seconds, it's because I know what to say and also what not to say, okay? Additionally, as you know, these documents are being put down as soon as they're done signing. So that way we're not like sign here, sign here, sign here, sign here, but there's no spot where there's such a tremendous amount of overlap. Like it's all well there. I didn't put anything down because literally there's something to go over with them on another page to fill out that particular document, okay? Everything else is like, hey, you're done with this one. Here's what this one is. Go ahead and sign and date here, please. Go ahead and sign and date an initial, things along those lines. Now, if the customer has questions, you're gonna wanna answer them if you're allowed to answer them. Now, the purpose of this video is not to discuss what you can and cannot answer, but there's a big distinction on what you can and cannot help them with. Here, I'm actually pulling out their bank number for them in the documents, so that way they're getting money back on this transaction. They don't know their account number by heart, but I know, because I do these closings all the time, that it's on that page, and I'm like, you just want it in your bank account? Sure, no problem. Here's your bank account number. How do you think that's a great experience for the borrower? Like, oh, it's right here. You're going to help me. Perfect. Boom, done. Go ahead and sign it there. Okay. That's how you get great reviews. When you just take care of stuff for them, they love it. They appreciate it. They're grateful for it. And we are done. Look at that. 10 minutes and 33 seconds. So she's saying, no, I'm asking, do you have any questions? And they're taken care of. Now, here's the most important part of the signing. Do you know what it is? We are going to, it's not the small talk, it's not my hand motions. We are going to flip through the documents. Guys, I've done 10,000 loan signings and I will always continue to double check the documents. And when you are brand new, you better be triple checking the documents, okay? You want to not miss any sign dates, initials, anything that needs to be filled out. Now, if you need sample loan documents, we actually have that in our program. That's not the purpose of this video. We're not trying to sell anything particular, but just know that you're going to need sample documents. You're going to need to know where to sign, date, initial, what needs to be filled out, what doesn't need to be filled out. And that is a big deal with being a professional loan signing agent. So the most important part of closing is the flip through, the double check, triple check. What did I have her do? Make her numbers look cleaner, look nicer. If you have a sloppy 4 and it's, if you have a, if you were trying to make a 4, but it sort of looks like a 9, you're gonna wanna say, look, this needs to be cleaner. Now, most of the time, and I'm just gonna pause it here, if, let's say they make a mistake, right? Let's say they made a 4, but it actually turned out to be really close to a 9 and you're not whiting out the documents. What you can do is take their loan copies, okay? Their copies are gonna be underneath my stamp and my pouch. I take my pouch with my business cards, pens, notary stamp. That's a little trick. I don't carry my bag in anymore. It's just a lot lighter and easier. Underneath all of that are their copies. So if they make a mistake, you're gonna take their copy of that particular page, have them re-sign it, you keep the good one and you give them the bad one, okay? That way you send back page for page what the lender actually needs, and they get to keep page for page what they're supposed to have as well, okay? And so if they screw up on the numbers, this is your chance to double check, make sure everything looks good, and get that taken care of. So as you see, this video is like 10 minutes long, right? My question to you is, these signings pay $75 to $200, and when you don't really know what you're doing, you're gonna be offered signings from like $30 to like $80, things along those lines. When you do know what you're doing, you're gonna get offered like $100 to $200. And when you really are an expert, that's how you can get anywhere from like $200 to $600 for closings. There's a big, your income will never exceed your education in this business, okay? And I'm just telling you the flat out truth. Your income will never exceed your education or knowledge in this business. So my question to you is, how many loan signings do you need to be happy every day? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 closings. The most I've ever heard of happen in one day was 12 closings. The most I've ever done in one day was 10. You can do really well in this business, but I want to know, go ahead and comment below if you haven't commented yet, or if you have, go ahead and comment below how many closings you need to be happy every day. It could be 1, 2, 3, no matter what the number is, full-time or part-time, put the number. I want to know, and obviously you know the math. And if you've got any, we're not done yet, but guys, go ahead and share this video with someone that you find can get value out of it. If you're watching this video, that likely means that you're in other groups of people that are very similar to you, that are just starting out, and they can also get value from this. That person is not your competition, okay? There are millions and millions of loan signing transactions, but go ahead and share this video with someone that you can pay it forward to and help them out, okay? So you're gonna see me just kind of correcting, maybe I was a little sloppy on the documents, or I can just make an E, I can close the loop, things like that. That's basically what I'm doing, but you don't wanna have a cross out on the documents. You're gonna swap out page for page like we talked about if there's anything that's like really bad. See, she's laughing, I'm laughing, we're having a good time, saying, hey, sorry, I don't want to be a jerk, but make this look nicer. It's a great experience. They're smiling, they're not rude, they're not pissed off. I'm not rude, I'm not pissed off. It's just a good time, okay? You want to be a professional loan signing agent, look at the smile on her face. She's just hanging out while I'm taking care of business. They're not inconvenienced. I'm not rushing them. I'm not making them take forever. I'm literally knocking this closing out in less than 14 minutes. And it was, I think, 10 and a half for the actual signing time, which is really, really good. Now, this is an equity loan closing. This is not a full refinance, but you're probably still looking at least probably around 80 to 90 pages overall, okay? So you can see the finger helper is very, very helpful, okay? Flipping through, flipping through, flipping through. It makes a big difference. So here I am wrapping up with the customer, telling them the next steps, She's nodding her head, okay. Questions, do you have any questions? Nope, 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 boom. We swap IDs for pens. She laughs about it, I laugh about it, and sorry, I'm just gonna pause it there. We laugh about it because it's just an enjoyable experience. One, their Pilot G2's .07s, they're not cheap pens, okay? They're the most comfortable pens I've ever had, and so I don't like to just give them out. Now with COVID, it's a little bit different story. This was filmed pre-COVID, by the way, but so we're not wearing masks and things like that, but the point is, we swap IDs for pens. That way, not only do I not forget to give it back to them, but like you wrap up, you let them know, thank you for their time. Do you have any questions? Okay. When you ask, do you have any questions? They are going to let you know if they do or if they don't. Now, if it's something you can answer, you're going to take care of that right away and point to it on the documents. That's how you get great reviews. Okay. Now, if it's something that you cannot answer, you're going to direct them to someone that will be able to answer their questions, okay? So when you leave and you're already gone and you get in your car and you leave, what kind of impression did you leave on that borrower? Were they just someone that collected the signatures and just pieced out and it could care less? It's very obvious what impression you leave with the borrower, okay? Now on the other side, if you were, you don't necessarily need to make them laugh, but you can still have a fun professional closing where you're smiling, just taking care of business, signing docs, and making it just enjoyable overall. When you ask them what questions they have a couple of times, they feel taken care of. They're going to give you a great review. And guess what? You're going to be hired again, 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 and again. I cannot tell you the amount of notaries that just go and collect signatures and leave. They don't answer any questions, or they go and just explain everything like they're a know-it-all, like they're an attorney, they're breaking the law, they don't even know it. Guys, a real hybrid, a nice balance is exactly what you just saw. It's going to reduce your time frame of the closing, and it's really just important that you do it correctly.
So, what'd you think? Pretty easy, right? When I did my first closing a while back, I made about $150 in just about 30 minutes. It was incredible. I made more in that 30 minutes than I made in my entire day job. And I knew that I wanted to transition into full time. So do you want to know the #1 tip for quicker closings? Here it is. When you call to confirm the appointment and you either speak to them or you leave a voicemail, you need to tell them that you do not work for their lender and that your requirement and your only requirement is that they get all their questions answered ahead of the closing. And that's it. When you tell them that your requirement is that they get their questions answered, they call their loan officer, get their questions answered, and that way it prevents more questions at closing. That's gonna save you time, it's gonna save you energy, it's gonna eliminate the back and forth. And when you start out doing closings, you're probably going to be about 45 minutes to an hour, but eventually you're going to want to get that to about 30 minutes, like max, 30 minutes max. And so when you get their questions answered ahead of time by calling their loan officer, that's going to make it much easier for you to fit more closings in your schedule each and every day. I want to thank you for watching this video. If you're looking for more free signing agent training, there's going to be a link around this video that's actually going to bring you to a 1-hour free signing agent training that we have. Go ahead and click the link in the description, register today, don't miss it, and I'll see you there.